Well, I was born in the Calton, Glasgow, the 19th of February 1908. My father had came from Ireland. Counting me well almost his brother, and the three sisters went to America at the same time, same day. Oh, the Calton was a busy place, well populated, tons of sport, tons of pubs, tons of everything.
And you were saying there was 6 pubs, and there was...
Uh,
It's quite a hard area, was it?
oh, it's hard. It was a rowdy area, and so far as the police were concerned. But they hated I once said something, they hated the police. Aye. The police were the enemy.
And did they ever have like fights or anything like that?
Oh, there were fights every Saturday night, last for hours. And that was the thing.
No.
Well, I was a labourer, just a general labourer. And when the Spanish thing came up, I recognised right from wrong. This was the first time an attempt made by working class people to take power. And they're being attacked. And I was a member of the Communist Party. And I volunteered along the rest to go to Spain. And we left in December 1936 from George Square, 3 double-decker bus, packed to the brim, some standing, to London. We got off at London, and we had a night there at the pictures, then it was off to France.
You went in the pictures?
I went to the pictures. The pictures, Derek McDonald was in it, and the man, leading man, I can't remember his name, but he sung that song, Donkey Serenade. And they go out and they got the train to France.
And I mean, who was it you joined when you went to France? What was...
Well, in France, we spent a day there, but the French never made much of a bit of a welcome for us. We went to this pub along with 2 or 3 other men of my mates, and there was women walking up and down, and there were prostitutes. And they wanted to know if you wanted to go upstairs. That was in France, broad daylight, that's right, broad daylight. Then from France, we moved to Spain. And first thing I went into a big fortress, down the big slope. There'd been something that we'd call in the days of the war in Spain, they'd done these other things. And I got washed and shaved. And then after that, it was off to Madrigueras, which became our base. And we were there for about 4 weeks, and all of a sudden, the weapons came. And it was hell for leather. Everybody outside at once, all lined up, men, this and that thing, and they put in different squads. I was went to the machine gun squad. That was like about 2 guns in each squad. 2 men to a gun. That was 16 men. And we put 2 machine guns in the one lorry, and the 4 men beside them. And then we had 12 men with us who were just with rifles as a support group, and that was off to battle, Arama, where the Germans had broke through and were on their way to Madrid. And it was hell for leather with each Spanish drivers. My Christ, he drove, and all of a sudden we found ourselves in the bore. And the drivers out, and the drivers turned round and away with the motors again, the lorries. And we're in the war, and it was hell. I was some in the war. We saw them dying before our eyes. They were retreating all the time. And all of a sudden, we were left, and over on that right-hand side, there was the Franco Belgians, and they were being retreating too. And we just emptied the machine guns, until there were no bullets left, nothing left, and they were all away behind us. And no more do we hear the sound of the war or nothing, but that was us left there. We couldn't go back, couldn't go anywhere. And that was a Friday night. And Saturday morning, we got our first shell. 1 shell. 2 hours passed, we got another shell. And gradually, the Moors appeared with it and mounted on horses, and were surrounded and rounded up. They pulled out there were 2 men in charge of us, and one was pulled out and shot right away through the brain, just in time that the Spaniards appeared on the scene, and they saved us. Saved the other ones being shot. We're all going to be shot one at a time. And then we got tied, lined up, and our hands were tied behind our backs with the moors, and lined up, and we moved in twos, and the horses on each side of us the whole way for hours to where we were going. And we got up to this place, and we were dismounted and put in 9 in a cell. All the cell had was a little toilet at the side that didn't have flush. And 9 days were there. And then the following morning, they came in with the big truck full of, it's supposed to be soup. And there were no bait out the big head. We were hands in and fed ourselves. Might seem the hands were black. Everybody's hands were black. Never been washed all the time.
So there was no balls?
No, and my wife, no toilet paper. But we had to eat. So we all ate. And after about a week, an Englishman appeared from Britain to see how we were. And after that, we got spoon. And we were there. Well, what could we do? That was us there. Until one night, a door burst open and 2 Moors with guns came in. One of the character soldiers was kind of black looking, and I was pointing out and saying, Moro, Moro, Moro. I thought he was a Moor. See him? And then they're away, and the door shut, cell door. And then a few months later, we were taken away to a better place, a farmyard. There was a real big place for you to go into. And one side going up, there was the boards, and up the other side was the boards, about this width, and there's up at the top, and there's more cover for lying down there. You heard that when you woke up through the night, or somebody standing above you with the trousers off, the lace was feeling for the lace, and there was plenty of lace. And there's still the big, same thing for eating, they come in with the big thing, with like a basin full of soup, and we ate off that, and we're dished out with a plate, and we got a round thing again was the bread. That was the day for the day. Except for one day, by that luck I was in the front, but this big Irishman was in the middle, and when it was his turn, he leaned over and his bread fell into the soup. And he took off the army jacket and rolled up his sleeves, and his hand was in feeling for the loaf. And other at the back guy got off their back, and he said, he's going to eat after that. We shot him, and that soup was taken away. There was left of that, and the following day it just folded up and taken back in again. And that was a grub until, because we moved, as time went on, we heard that the Italians had suffered a big defeat by the Russians, Air Force bombing them, and there's a probability of us being repatriated. And then we moved to Salamanca. A big home, like home from home compared to what it had been before. And gradually we were told we're going to go home. And we rounded up, and we went on the march. And of course, that was a quick walk. And I was shouting, despacio, despacio, means go slower. Back out they're going till they come to this place where there's a border between France and Spain. And halfway across, you're in France. And that was us back home.
Excellent. Who was it, I mean, what was the name of your battalion you were fighting for in Spain? What was the name of the International Brigade battalion you were fighting for?
Well, we didn't have a name at that time.
Yeah.
Didn't have a name. We had left with, and that's a hurry, there isn't a name for anything. The ammunition and everything had just arrived. And it was onto the lorries as quick as you could, and get there as quick as you could, and we died as quick as we could. That's where most of the battalion died, in that one day.
Before you went, I mean, were you involved in anything before you went actually over to Spain?
Well, I remember the Communist Party. And the Communist Party, of course, that was them who started the recruiting of the thing and made the arrangements for them that wanted to go. And it was them who made the arrangements for everything for the 3 buses, and that was it.
But I mean, you were saying that prior to that, you after 1934, you decided to join the territorials?
Well, in Spain there's been trouble in 1934 up in Asturias with the miners, and the miners had been using dynamite against us. And I said, well, that's time for me to get know what to do. And I joined the 50th Cameroonians West Princess Street, and I was there for 2 years till 1936. And the war started in Spain. That was me. I knew I was able to shoot, and I was able to take care of myself. But some of them who went along with me in these buses had never seen a rifle, except in the pictures. And there's only sort of say that a lot of good men died in one day. The Italian never was the same. And after that, it was, whenever 2 years Britishers come over to Spain, we were fighting amongst the Spaniards, and that 2 or 3 would come, they were fighting amongst the Spaniards. But the British battalion was finished that one day.
When was that? Do you know when that was? Was it?
Well, we went in the action. It was the second Friday of February 1937. That's when in the action. The second Friday.
So that'd be 13th of February.
What?
13th of February.
Well, whatever the date was.
Do you know where it was you fought? I mean, in Jarama, was it?
Harama.
Jarama, sorry.
It's very slightly sound as the H, like a JLH. Harama, that was the first big thing with Spain.
Was that Hull 481 you fought in?
Well, I don't know the name of the hill or nothing else, but when we got there, there was no time to think about nothing. It was get off the lorries, get the guns fixed right away, the ammunition boxes opened. That's the only thing that held us back. When we got there, the ammunition boxes hadn't been opened. And we got off there, two of us jumped off the lorry, the other two handed the machine gun out, then the other machine gun out, then they handed out the boxes of ammunition. We still had to open the box of ammunition, and there was hell for leather. The fighting was going on, and the ammunition only lasted, only lasted that one day, because the ammunition boxes just empty like that. The guns, just bullets. When we captured the machine guns, yeah, but they're empty and made no ammunition.
So basically you get captured because you
Well, we fell into the men who had rifles. They but they didn't last long. The ammunition was the main thing. Once the ammunition was done, you couldn't get any more ammunition.
And did you get any training apart from, obviously, you got it in the territorials? Did you get?
Well, there was no training because I mad they get us. There was no ammunition. There were no guns there. There was nothing there.
Any uniforms?
Oh, we got a uniform. I think I was I heard that first it was a Belgian, but I don't know if it was Belgian or not. But it wasn't British. But we got uniforms before the ammunition. But I was not trained or nothing until we got in the arrested. Harama.
Yeah, I see you've described it before as, was it running from the tenement to a pitch battle? And it also, I think you said before, it was like you still thought about what it was like in Scotland at the same time.
Aye, they're there that night, and we could hear the voices, they're wounded, but we didn't know whether it was real or not. It was a decoy because the Spaniards knew English, and we could help, help, help all the Friday night, but we couldn't do much about it. And that was it.
But I mean, when you were over there, when you were in, you're taken captive, and for the first bit, were you still thinking about what it was like?
Oh, I was right. Well, I was wondering what they were doing at home. I didn't even do it at home. Especially when we came to the Saturday morning and daylight. That's when we got our first shell. Fadas.
What would you normally have been doing on a Saturday?
Oh, when you got to the football matches, Parkhead, and I said, there. And I was back home. I don't have to think about, except that if you wanted to do a toilet, they go behind one of the trees there. And yet, while you were doing it, well, you're going to do, you can hear the bullets.
Firing at you?
Oh, aye. Going to make a sound.
So when did you actually come home?
Well, I kind of remember, but it must have been about 7 months later. But the time passed quick. Yeah, well, definitely just as yourself as a prisoner. But as I said, I was 18 years.
And were you repatriated, or did they try when you came back to England? When you came back to Britain, was there any problem or anything like that?
No, no. Well, we were prisoners, we were told that, well, we understood a bit of Spanish in the papers. The Russians inflicted a big defeat on the Italians. The Russian bombers, planes, wiped a lot of them out. And the possibility has been in exchange for them, it's still been living and captured. And, well, that came through time, and we did get repatriated. And we're told we were going home. And then gradually, it took a while before we went home, but we moved from one place to another up near the border of France.
I think there's a story as well about your mum saw you
Aye.
in the museum.
And in the local picture house, the Palaceum in Sherson, they knew me, told my mother that I was in the Palaceum in the film. She over, but had been taken to another hall in Paisley. And they gave her a line, and I went to Paisley and got the picture. And I come home, she had it. And of course, I went to one of the big chemist shops and got a lot of them made. And then at the end of the war altogether, the Spanish War, when a lot of them was left to come home, I could give them the photos. Got other ones made and give them the photos. Because there was a big meeting held in the hall in the Calton about the ones that are still living. I'd been in Spain, and then there, and that says the photos. And anybody want a photo, I got more made out the chemist shop. That's like a postcard.
And since then, I mean, obviously, there's been get-togethers and that kind of thing. But I mean, is there anything that, how do you feel about the fact that you went and fought for something that people just don't seem to do anymore?
Well, you know, about the people.
Things they believe in, people don't seem to do it that much anymore.
Well, when I was born in the Calton was known as what you call a rebel place. We got the Independent Labour Party, James Maley and the company. And although I never mentioned politics much, the soldiers had fought in the First World War asked me when I was 20 years of age to go to the shareholders and candle rigs, listen to Maxson talking and see what I thought about him. Well, I know politics. I can go to a hall, 100 men can say the same thing, and I know who's baddie. I'm good in politics. That's the only thing I'm good at, politics. I can tell right away who's good and who's bad. That's my object. Some people say to me, but why is it you never stood for Parliament yourself? I says, well, the Congress Party never asked me to stand, but anyway, I know I could better myself. But I'm done, I want to better myself, I want to better everybody. That's all. And I know anyway that even in Parliament, I couldn't do very much in Parliament because people don't want to fight, there's nothing to do. I know that they don't get anywhere they're voting. Because people vote, and after they vote, they join a union. Why? Because, well, they're going to get through anything voting. Nobody.
Why do you think that so many people went from Glasgow? I mean, what was so special in Glasgow? Why did so many come from?
Well, there's been big demonstrations from the beginning of the 30s against poverty, unemployed, marching to London. I did myself, and this and this and that. But they never really got anywhere. There wasn't enough to do anything to change the system. But we must change. Even now, people go to war. And I think the old saying, there's not the reason why, there's but to do or die. Soldiers in the First World War, for the first time in the British history, had revolted. In France, the Russian army was the first. They revolted in 1917. There was a small revolt with the French at Verdun, and there was a smaller one with the British at Etops. That was 1917, and they'd only just learned their lesson. There were not going to be any more rides or uprisings and revolts in the army. And yet a lot of the men were shot. And that's life. A lot of men were shot. In the First World War, a lot of men, it was trench warfare. There were no such thing as aeroplanes or nothing. It was in the trench and shoot, and jump out of the trench and advance and you get shot and everything else. And people are actually afraid, because it's an old story, if you don't do it, Alan will do it. And they do actually be the leader of doing nothing, or doing something wrong. And I know people in the First World War who were shot for desertion or refusing to fight. That's life. It's the same today. The army is still the same today as it was in 1914. They know that, well, if they're told to go over the top or over here, they'll have to do it. Nobody wants to be the one that revolts first. They're the leader.
Well, but, I mean, you were saying that it was about fear. But, I mean, so many young men actually went in the 1930s after the First World War to fight against, was it fascism? I mean, what did you know about Spain? Had you ever been to Spain? What was the chances you ever going to Spain if it wasn't for this?
Well, see, in the Second World War, Britain didn't go to war against Hitler. In the Second World War, the British soldiers went to France on holiday, and French troops landed in Scotland. They landed in a place outside Bailison, between Bailison and Coat Bridge. I saw them. Now, where are they going? Well, I'll tell you where they're going. They were going because up in a place called, up in the very top of the map, there was another fascist, and there was going to be a war there against the Russians, and that's where the French were going. That's the life at the time of there. So the British soldiers have been taught not to reason why it is, but to do or die. That's through the days it was done. That man knew the British soldiers. Churchill made a statement after the Second World War. He said the Russians tore the guts out of the German army. The next thing he said was, the Germans had 90,000 men, the British had 100,000 men. For every 5 guns the Germans had, the British had 7 guns. And the Germans won. Even Churchill knew the army. Even in that last month, when we're all talking this new thing about how the British were back to France in 44, near the end. It was because the Russians were beating the Germans. So they had to get over there. The Russians were going to have the whole of France. So the British troops went back again after 2 years, back to France, against a German army that was down where they were going to fight. They were about 16 years of age, or older, too old for the war. That's where they went. That meant that the Russians weren't going to take the whole of France.
But I mean, how do you feel the fact that as soon as you came back, basically in the next couple of years, if the whole world suddenly get involved in the fight against fascism?
Well, you see, because there's a lot of people in this country, they don't want a war and they don't want peace. We've got a population that's divided into three. The rich, the middle class, and the poor. The rich are determined that the working class will never take power. They in the middle are we don't want any trouble. We want peace. That's the system.
I mean, what did you know about Spain before you went? I mean, like, what did you know about it? How did you find out about it?
Well, in 1934, I found out there was trouble in Spain up in Asturias. They were fighting for a sort of independence.
I mean, was that through, was it newspapers or newsreels?
I read it through papers and also. And I decided then and then that I was going to join the territorials, get some army experience. And I joined the 58th Cameronians, West Princess Street, in 1934. And when I went there to join up, there were 17 people there actually passed the doctor. 17. But after we passed the doctor, you got to see the man above, the head man. One at a time. And only 2 got actually into the territorials. A young boy of 17 and myself. But only 2 accepted. The other 15 weren't. All had passed the doctor. That was the 58th Cameroons. I must have been very particular. And I went and, well, for Girvan the first year, putting up the tents. And also went to Camber's Line for the shooting, which was good for the time. So I learned how to shoot bullseye, bullseye. And I knew then, when I worked here at 36, I wasn't going there someday to learn anything. I knew what to do. That's the main thing.
And I mean, the people who went in the bus with you, I mean, did you know a lot of them, or was it people, where were they all from? I mean, whereabouts?
Oh, they all came from, well, mainly from the East End of Glasgow. And they say I knew quite a lot of them. They'd been in hunger marches and I'd been in the marches, so I knew who we were. And I also seemed to be one of the cases that 98% was Catholics. And Spain was a Catholic country. So it proved old saying that in all the religions, there's the rich and the poor. And that's it.
I mean, what kind of areas did they come from? I mean, like yourself, you came from Calton. What other kind of places? Do you know any other places in Glasgow they came from?
Well, mainly the Calton and Royston, and just in a sort of circle. We were never far from each other.
So it was all the kind of working class?
That's right.
And when you come home, what kind of reception did you get when you came home?
Oh, I go home, of course. I was back to the talking because I'd been talking before I went. And of course, people knew it. And I believe if I was chosen for council or parliament, I could again. But as I said, well, I knew it. See, the thing is this, if I become an MP into parliament, it's going to take me years for it to change the system. System's going to be changed, and it's not going to be changed through parliament.
So, I mean, when you think about why you went, I mean, it was obviously to fight, but there was a reason. What was the actual reason you actually thought about going? What was it you wanted to change? Or?
Well, I knew that the working class in Spain had taken power. And if they could have held on to power for long enough, then they held a difference to other countries possibly, round about them. We saw the progress that was being made. We see, they didn't get any time for that.
Take a wee break there, because it's probably very hot on you, is it? Is it hot on you? Do you want to go for a wee break?
No.
You alright? Alright, okay.
Could you have a wee glass of water?
I know nobody was working. Not a sound. Just a sound. And man, this big and this and that, all of a sudden, getting dark at 4 o'clock. Dim. The door opened, the big lights shone out. Door shut, door opened, just like this. And I was, hey, you two, come on here. Two went over. And it was packed with men, they're all shouting, fuck the union. Fuck the union, fuck the union. So it transpired that everybody in Parkhead Forge had a bonus, except the Brigades labourers. They broke up in this and disabled. So maybe let's went back out of the wagon. And the young buffalo says to me, he can be sheriff. He says, you can get it in the bonus. And I was like, thinks I'm no. I said, I'm getting the bonus. I says, we'll not be here this Thursday, we'll be going back into that work. And we're getting there, someone will recognise me. And we'll get the bonus. Well, we're back in the following day into the yard to work, all the men. And the two men who had been, these two young men had been going for months here and there. And I had two men for put for that place in Yale and Murrell. Another one was in Glengarnock, another factory. They were the three factories. They'd been going out with two men for the six of them, and that was the tribunals. Well, 5 months and a half months passed before they called the next meeting. In Sorba Street, a wee church hall empty, and they called it Sorba Street and Westmoor Street, Parkhead. Now, by this time, I knew this meeting was finished, the bonus. Because I'd been talking and nothing. And I went on, I became the man in charge. And I said, young guy, you and me will go to Yale and Murrell. These two, the Parkhead, I'll go to the other part and we can hear that. Yeah, tell them it's a strike. I went to Yale and Murrell. And I spoke there. That was him out. the other ones, two of them out. And I didn't bother with anything in any meetings. I was at we were on strike for the bonus. And we got the bonus. And I was put in charge of the areas precautions. And I was in with the office, and this man poked his head in my soft hat, and the office man said to him, areas precautions, pointing to me. Oh, sorry. Then the next thing was, rush hour was an hour. Back up to the recruiting office, and I walked in, and the man, the same officer, and he had a smile on his face, and you want to go go down the Barton Road, and you've been down the Barton Road, you know Wheelers? Down the Barton Road. There's a shop there at the Wheelers. Well, the crossing that side has been a big shop at one time. That was used as a recruiting office. So I got in there, Royal Artillery. And I volunteered overseas service straight away. And a convoy, a war convoy, and it's a Royal Artillery to London barracks. And there's bombardiers and different regiments, mixture. And first Saturday we were there, it was after dinner time, bamboos out the road in London. Solid Saturday, we were on parade, and an officer come out and he spoke to the sergeant major as he went away. I says, we're going to be left here. The first law had been taken away at the big dining hall. There were two dining halls, always two dining halls, big one and a small one. I'm in the small ones, about 250 men, and we're standing. I said, this is going to be some stand. There are bombardiers and corporals, right? I said, well, I can do three things here. I can leave the ranks, walk down, get my dinner, get in the dining hall, and until I'm taking my dinner, I know that the top brass are in the big dining hall. Talking here, men here and there, just a wee talk, how's it going? And they'll come on to the wee dining hall, and I'll end it myself. They'll say, look around, say, they're right there, and you give me a rifle, I'll go there and I'll shoot them all. Or I can sit here and a British said the same as the rest. Then I said to myself, the girls who are serving this club out, I'm saying, where the hell are they? I said, but I'll wait as long as I can. And I waited as long as I could. I said, right, and down to the front. Boys, shun! Quick march! Into the first door, the big long table the girls were serving. First one, 2 slices of cheese, 2 slices of corn mutton. Next one, some veg. And I only go from here to that window there. When the door opened and who comes through with the top brass, the first one brought platters with medals. And the 3 of them stopped and I stopped, and the him with the medals looked down at my feet. That's my face. I could see him say to himself, who the fuck's this private? Then he looked at my plate and he said, it's 2 slices of cheese and 2 slices of corn mutton. Back to the dining table and said it again. I said to myself, they can't go back in the dining hall. I mean, it's come through one at a time. They can't out because there's 250 men coming in one at a time. I said, there's a hell of a mess. And I went by the 3 of them in the dining hall, took my dinner. I never had anything, but I can pay the 2 just say there's no other trouble, just go out and get him. And I picked this, and I was saying that in later years, who the hell was up private? I said, truth, when I moved, they didn't stand there yet. I said, that's the truth, the rest. Well, I'll tell you one time. The Royal Artillery was heavy archaic. I went there and I divided it in, there's 8 guns, big guns. Divided it into 2, 4 there and 4 there, and I was on the switchboard. The officer's at my back, the phone's gone, and I'm writing it down. And he's shouting to the outside of the guns, fire! The guns and the fire. Well, at this time of year, it's sliding, the aeroplane's sliding down, the boat's sliding down. I was trying to join the King's Own Scottish Borders. Oh, she's action at last. So I goes there, and the first out I'm out, 6 men and a Lance Corporal. Say it's for stay here, and they've been, she saw the enemy doing in Byers Road. So we leave, and I'm there. And all of a sudden the the 6 men all clammed in under this big tree. And I'm standing myself. And I says, what's up? And they say, this is what they all do. This is what they all do. And I said, well, they were going to the village. I thought they were going to shoot me. They're on their feet. And I sat down again. So I sat down too. I said, well, there are 2 British battalions in the division of the Queens and the South Lancs. I soon find out. 2 days later, we're going out again. Only having a sergeant with us. As soon as we out of the road, sergeant said, right, Maley, you go out in front. They've been talking about me. Well, they didn't frighten me, because I'm good with it. I was good with the rifle. Anything I see, I'll shoot. I'll shoot, I'll kill. And all of a sudden, I swear back, I say, seeing, you'll hear the smell, I don't see seeing. Anything you see, I'll see it. And they were in this sort of village, and there's huts, they're moving about, and I sat down, and I said, well, they've seen me, and I've seen them. I don't want to Japanese and these or no. I sat for about 15 minutes, and out to where the rest were. I said, what do you want to do? We can gun. Used to wait outside the thing, I'll gun one hard to a time. Used to outside, I'll do it. And the sergeant says, well, he says, it's a chance. They're not doing that. He can't do that. And that's how it finished up.
So what happened?
Well, they weren't going to where they were going to go at all. They seemed to be ripe in the army. They come out with false reports. Yeah, one time we were 6, we were out, and I'm the other 6. The other 6 were going to, we were going out together, but the others were going to stay that night and we were coming back again. That 6 disappeared. I don't know what happened to them. That was army. Okay, I haven't get thumbs with it. I'm feeling very slightly. No, the British soldier, I'll tell you what, if he's taken to a place where it means get up and all being killed, they'll go. Not because they want to go, because they're afraid not to go. That's the difference. What Christ orders is orders.
Is that a difference between what happened in Spain? I mean, what was the difference between the
Because we were just ordinary. We were soldiers. We were the ones that started was the ones that went in the demonstration ways and all. We were. But my wife got a book down in the Media Library. Brought it home, it's about the First World War. Kitchener. I remember the photo. And this man is there, and he's going to read the story it's there. He's going to watch right what's there. And he's standing there, cold winter's day. Very cold. And the soldiers are just in uniform, no coat, it's just uniform. They're standing. I've got a pen here, I'll take out the book, and all of a sudden, half an hour passed. An hour, and the soldiers started to drop on the ground. No movement. 2 hours and some started to die. This is the British Army. 4 hours before Kitchener came, all our men had died. No firing a shot, the enemy, nothing. And that's the British Army. That's it. I cut it out of there, I cut it out.
I mean, what do you think, I mean, the difference between, obviously you volunteers in the Spanish, and the Spanish Civil War, what do you think you achieved?
Well, we achieved the question that if you want to get what you want, you have to fight for it. We fought for the British, the government was in, the Liberal government was in, and we were going to defend the government that had got power. Now, if you'll remember rightly, Hitler came to power. Now, Hitler came to power because Hitler went about for years before the war. And it came to the point where the Communist Party got 6 million votes in Germany. Now, Germany got a good vote. The Red recognised the dangers. Hindenburg, right, Hitler, you're in power from now on. From today, you're in power. Now, in his crowd, there were what you call the brown shirts. That was sort of working class bands that joined it. The first thing he did was, right, he wiped the leaders in the brown shirts. I just left the men, the men had to work. And it was where nobody invaded China, or Hitler, nobody invaded Germany. He's in power.
Did you already know?
For a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. And then, they met a year before the war was declared, and Britain, France, Germany and Italy met the four of them to the because in this place there was a certain amount of Germans lived. And the Germans wanted that place as part of Germany. And they got it. Until Czechoslovakia had a good wee army. Now that finished them. And then...
Was that Sudeten?
What? Was that
Sudeten land?
Aye. And then they declared war and Hitler went to war. The British soldiers went to France on holiday, and the British troops landed outside Bales. I was staying in Shelton at the time, and I fed up walking from Shelton to Bales to Cobridge. Yeah. And I saw the French. And then I realised that up in Finland, there was a dictator, and there was going to be a war there, and there was a war there against the Russians. The Russian border stretched to right to that place to get them up. And that's war. You read about the people there, their boys has died in this Iraq thing, and he died for his country. It's not his country at all. No. No, demonstrations, anti-war demonstrations, they had no purpose. There was no fighting, and they had no purpose. There was no objective. Now, instead of going to the barracks, we're telling you not to go. If I was a sheriff in this place, that's what I would do. I'd march the crowd that's following me up to the barracks. We're telling you not to go. Because the soldiers are looking for comfort. I know I'm at work. Every job I've been at, if you do the talking, we'll stop too. They said to me. Well, I'll tell you what I did, and I worked on the Red Road. You've heard of the Red Road. There was what you call men who cleaned up the floors, sweepers. That's the bell rock. See that there? That's the bell rock. Now, in that office, the multi-story that was built, this is built by, not by the council, but by a firm. Well, it was Watlands that was doing this in this belt, and there I was, bell rock. It comes in and it's got to be cut sometimes to fit in. For some 18 inches wide, other ones 2 feet thin, and it fits in like a glove, and it's bits cut off it with the joiners so it'll be right. And there's all the cleaners who cleaned it up. But Wally moved to Site Hill, and the cleaners who were left were 4 landings still to be done. Well, nice way, nice little play. And then they were called away. And the Ur cleaners were told to go up and march, clean out this 31st floor. Now, they were never in bonus. Bonus men were. So they got there, and there's a drum with holes in it that they'd used up to the bottom, up to the top, is a fire. Because it's all open with that on it, it's all just by the open space. They did that. And this 4-man in charge of the job had other 4 men under him, other 6 men under him, for the labourers right up. And this one comes along and he does that, knocks the fire out, and of course ashes, the bit of trouble. Right, you two down to Ernie. I was in charge of the job in the office. So he's down to Ernie, and I hear this, I get to hear this, that they men are looking for me. Because the 2 of them went to out the office, got threatened me down the road. And the man says, I'm looking for you. I said, well, they'll find me sooner or later. But I knew what they were going to say when they came. I knew they were going to say, are we supposed to do in the bell rock? And I was going to say, no. And are you telling us not to do it? Yeah, I was going to say, yes, I'm telling you how to do it. I knew when he told the other gang, he's going to go into the office and say, Maley has told them not to take the bell rock down. Right, sent by the Maley. Well, he told me that up as fast as I could, him and back. I didn't open the door, I threw him. He was sitting at a desk. I'd done something different before in the history of the working class. I looked around at me, saw a chair, lifted it up and went down and I sat facing him. I says, what is it you want to see me about? He said, you've told them now to take it down the bell rock. I said, yes, are you telling me to take it down? Oh, he's not going to take it down either.
Sounds like you like to fight, Jimmy.
well, you see, I've got a brain. I knew that I could go away, but I'd won it, but I didn't really want it. I knew the other 6 men under him, who were general foremen too. I also had a travelling ganger, and we could phone. And he could come and say to me, right, get your peas and can, as was done before, you're going to another place. And I was sitting there, and I knew I could see his brain working. And all of a sudden I says to him, have you been up there? He said, the men roads are this ready for Monday morning. He says, no. I said, well, they're never that ready for Monday morning. I says, now you made a hell of a mistake with setting these men down the road. If you want that place cleaned, you'll only get it cleaned for Monday morning. I thought I said to the guy, would your men be prepared to work on Sunday? Oh, aye, he says, it's better to work on Sunday. I said, well, that's arranged then, they'll work on Sunday. I said, it's true. And that's a ghost story. And that was all. But I'll tell you one thing about him. The following week, I was sitting in the dining hall at 4 o'clock. I was drinking out some, nothing at all. And the fellow that sat there faced me was did with the toilets. And he says to me when I sat down and faced him, I'm in here because I'm getting toilet paper for the toilets. I said nothing. But Ernie Rawson goes in and he walks up and he says to him sitting facing me, what are you doing here? You get out of here at once. Out, and get back to your job. And he never said a word to me, he just walked away, butting up the hall. Never said a word to me. But he was nice to me after that. And I realised, this is a man. Oh, Christ, I frightened him. But at the same time, I knew he had the upper hand. That he could fully, that some other men would say to him, I wouldn't really worry about it. Yes.
What year was that, by the way?
No.
When was that?
That was about 3 years before I retired.
So what year would that have been?
Oh, see, when was I 65? 1999.
65, so it would have been about 74, 75, something like that. So you still hadn't quieted down?
Okay, no, I put it for the working. Well, I worked in the railway to start, in that first job after the war, and I was the same there. And working away per day, I was pissed in the rain. That's the anger's discretion. And quack, 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 quack. I heard the quack, quacking. I stooped up, I put my shovel and pick aside and walked away. And I walked down in the calf was farther on. And I passed him, he says to me, don't tell them where you're going, I'm going to get these bastards into all day. I was sat in there at dinner time, and they still come in. Wait. Then I didn't have later on over it. No, I know my men. Oh, Christ, aye. That's me at work.
I mean, see if you could go back. I mean, if you go back to Spain, I mean, you go to like the gatherings. Have you been to Spain since?
What?
Have you been back to Spain since?
Oh, I went back, 1996. Well, there's a man come up to me, that meeting, 1996. He was really a man, I don't know his father, no, in the wheelchair. He'd been in Spain. He's crazy, he says, I've been with you for 51 years. I landed in India at the end of the war, 18 years of age, and all I heard was your name. He said they started a big communist party in Calcutta. See, everywhere I went, I heard your name. See, you must have been somebody, man. Well, something happened there. There's a man come up to me in Spain. I started to speak first of all in Bombay. The barracks was only about here to outside the ground out of here. I started to talk, and all the Indians were in me right away. I told him shoulder. They could speak English. That's what I said about them. And I remember walking on trees in the colours of the Indian flag. I was one side was just a big long wide pavement. Say, here that wall and double that size, and a big ocean. That was the sea. The trees, colours of Indian flag, and I was giving it bells to the Gandhi in the hall, and they're talking on the hill, and a friend heard me. Aye, there's one place where a debate was at this. My guy was always talking about comes there. A debate was going to be arranged, was Britain justified in going to war in 1936. And this soldier was for and I was against. And the hall was packed. And the officer was halfway down each side, there's a wee emergency door, leaning against the door. After about, the man around spoke for about 10 minutes, and that's what we started to speak. Half an hour passed, and he straightened up, and he knew the wee door, and across the playground. And the next thing I see him coming back with two of the staff officers, staff officers. And the three of them listening to me. Following one, this guy came out and he says, you're up for most of the 6 Punjabs. Right round to the door. I says to him, who's that up there? Oh, he says, that's you. This is the captain. I says, well, you can take it down. I walked out the door. Now, you see, once you're frightened, you're finished. Well, once you're frightened, you're finished, no matter what job you're on. Once you're frightened, you're finished for life. Well, I'm not going to frighten you. I frightened him. Same the first time, we're going to go in the first London in the first week, a 3 days march from pure military order. And I woke up with this guy in the bed next to me, staggering about, lasting with sweat. I said, what's up? He was saying it's malaria. I said, well, don't take your kit to the store. Or you won't take your kit to the store. I said, because I knew he was going to the march. I don't make mistakes in politics. So, 5:30, then it's breakfast and on parade at 7 o'clock. So we're all in parade and he comes staggering back, this chap, into the store to get his kit and out with his kit and into the billet to put it on. Staggering out into the ranks, we go on the march. About an hour past, whenever we saw stop, the wee motor comes, his stairways collapsed. Well, I knew, see, I know things. I knew that after we went back home again, we're going to get a lecture on Malaya. So we get this thing, the captain, he's a Malaya. He's talking, after his answer, excuse me, he said, but I can't take Malaya. He said, what do you mean you can't take Malaya? I said, I lie in bed, because he's these night service in bed. I said, I lie in bed. I says, that didn't bother me, no, I can't. He said, I'll bet you a bottle of beer, I'll give you Malaya. I said, no, as a soldier, I'm refusing to take Malaya, because if I take Malaya, I'm going to be incapacitated, and I'll not be used any use as a soldier. And then I says to him, you know, you're a lucky man. If you didn't feel to bell tomorrow morning, you need to get up and go to your doctor. You need to do anything. I said, you're a lucky man. If you'd been a soldier, collapsed, and you passed him fit for duty. We don't know where he's died or know where he's saying, yeah, he said a word. He's only about the ends of Malaya. I said, you're a lucky man. When Christ the audience loved it. Oh, they loved it. That was me. I made a lot of enemies, but I managed to make a lot of friends. Because that man, 51 years after the war, he says, Allendale Head was your name. And a big, I had them singing International in the hut. And if I would have said to the men, I thought men who weren't regular soldiers, you know, myself, I could have formed them and started a riot. I could have marched them through the town and I let all the rest. I had the voice. I could have done that. I started a rebellion.
Did you ever see anyone dying, or was it?
Oh, I saw them falling down, and they were dead at the time. They fell down. I know where they died. It's easy dying.
I mean, the lines in Spain. I mean, was it like trenches, or was it? I mean, you were in like machine gun. So
Oh, they're not trenches. They went over retreating, and they weren't in a trench. They were retreating. It was a slow process. It was a big area, about twice the west side of the football field, Bern's that twice. And coming down the right-hand side was the Spaniards. And there's crazy, of course, artillery's joined them. And there's a mass of hell, yeah. And we're firing machine guns there. If I do fire, well, we know they aim at the back's the enemy. The ones who going this way. And then this gradually down, until it disappeared out of sight. And the French rebellions were on the other side coming down for the time. And we turned it. We could only wait till they come down there and down there. And we fired the guns in. When they got to be here, then your friends on the front, the enemies at the back chasing them down, and that it was just blazed over the machine guns to the bullets were done. That's all we could do. That's the thing about us. You see, you've got to have ammunition coming up. The guns, the bullets don't last forever. Aye. Well, they sort of group with the Spaniards and the table, agua and water and everything else. And this boy came up to one day and he's talking about his mother. And I said to myself, I know what he means. They want food. So I smuggled food to him and I didn't tell where his mother was. And he was in the army and all it was and give him the food. Did that 30 times, taking away the harama. Because they must have been starving too.
I mean, when you travelled through, did you see much of the countryside? Did you see much of the people who lived there?
Oh, I seen that, well, this place we're in for about 2 or 3 weeks, where I got the haircut. And I seen the people. The people, as I said before, they could all speak English, most of them. I don't mean the language. You know just about it, anything, is But this other fella, soldier, there's something wrong with him. And we to go into that place in Spain, and they weren't actually involved in the war yet. And she went there, and he got sorted out, and they wanted to know what battalion we were in. I was carry on. Devastated. But life's, I don't know. That's the same as here. There's different people here. There's what you call the high class, middle class, and lower class. They've all got different ideas. A lot of people here now against the war.
I mean, were they quite glad you were there to fight for them, or did they welcome you?
No, they welcomed us. No, they welcomed us, aye. But there were still some, I say, different class. Everybody's not the same.
And I mean, when you were in prison, was it just like the British people all kept together when you were in, like, was it Salamanca or whatever it was?
No, there was something really too bad. I'll tell you what happened in Spain. First of all, you got the people here in prison here and you got the prison warders, whatever it is. Well, the soldiers come up and they're looking at the food, they're looking at the footwear. And they start to say, well, by the British, this food footwear you want them for money. And they'll give us sandals. Our soldiers, there's army shoes, army boots to the Spaniards. And they could attend the office with any money. And you could buy, I bought 6 eggs. Well, I finally sold mine. And a lot of them, it's goat's milk they had there, goat's milk. And I sat down in the big bowl and 6 eggs, and like a lord. And the rest of us said, one says to me, gonna eat some. I said, they'd sold theirs too, but they'd bought some cigarettes or that. Or they'd go for you, whatever you wanted. So the warders, they kind of, the Spaniards weren't bad. Say, one farm, I won't buy this one. But he was in uniform. Our band are singing that song. And he's trying. He was just pleased. But the rest of the Spaniards, like the ones that was in charge of us, no, they're pretty good. And the Buddhist, I was right away to start this thing about, I'll buy the, you could sign it for maybe that's eggs, milk, goat's milk, or whatever you wanted, cigarettes, whatever you wanted.
Well, saying you were with
Some of them sold their boots, man.
You were with a couple of Germans as well.
She didn't smoke. I had a couple of germs on it. She didn't smoke. Never smoked. Well, it really happened to me here. When I came here, I got to the ESS and down there on the main road that I could have claimed something. Nah, I didn't bother because I didn't drink or smoke. See, if there's 2 men and they're going to get a rise of £10 each, and one drinks and smokes, I've got a full £10 because this other man, the cigarette's got him priced, so does the whiskey or the beer, and he's not got £10 clear. So I'm better off that way. You get it, you know what I mean? I've got a £10, but the other man gets his £10, if finds out the cigarettes cost him a few cents more, or the beer or the whiskey cost him a few cents more. But as a man, it doesn't cost me anything anymore. Only. That's life.
The real spending power.
What?
The real spending power.
Aye. The man that drinks finds out the price of the cigarettes went up. That rise. And,
I mean, is there anything else? I mean, have you got any anecdotes about Spain or anything like that?
Huh?
Or is there anything else, any wee stories, anything like that about Spain?
Remember about the people in Spain
oh, aye.
making a barrier
Aye.
to keep them from getting into Madrid with furniture?
Aye, aye, aye. Very good. Spanish is good. It's just too bad they got beat. But I say, they when they got beat, you see, Britain and France, they made neutral, they're supposed to be neutral. And Germany and Italy's. And Germany and Italy were nearer Spain than Russia. The rich are hard to beat. That's one thing about the rich. They'll fight for what they want. The working class is divided. So when you get them talking to you about this anti-social and this and that and other thing, I did have that as a war. It always happened. Eh? They're not killing anybody.
Do you feel that maybe the people like yourself, the volunteers and the veterans, were maybe forgot because they didn't win that war?
Oh no, they don't. But that's why they'll find out now. That group, to see, we went to Spain in 1996. There was that rebel group still there, and I spoke to them. They were the rebel group, and this one on the platform, and I was up on the platform there and there, and they know who the enemy was. That's how the Spanish knew wanting the troops withdrawn, and the guy who was in charge, because there's a rebel group in Spain, there's no time for this thing here. There are more rebellions in Spain here that's dead. I mean, there's no purpose in the thing here. I mean, they go my guy out there, there's no threat, no fight, there's no nothing.
I mean, see, when we look back in Spain, I mean, I don't know, did you know anything about La Passionera, the Dolores?
Oh, aye. She was good. Good speaker. Well, when they put that monument up and down in the green for the man that was in charge, had been in Spain after that day, he was in this union, there was a place there, the union mate at the corner, and he had a wee job in there. So they're going to put him in the monument, we're going to have a meeting at the monument, we're going to have photos. We found out he'd left something in the house, and I was sitting there like, saying nothing. I said, I'll go. And I went down, walked out to Vision Street, all the way along that street, right along, by Ellen Bank Street, right along to nearly the end. And that's where he stayed. And then his wife wasn't too pleased I'm being there, I know, as myself. And I got what I wanted, and I went back, walked all the way back, and gave him it. And then they found out they need the platform. The Communist Party was up here, up to the top of the main road here. I walked up there and I got the platform, carried the platform down, up to the cenotaph. And we got our photos taken, and I never got a photo. Another one said one time, when I met down in England, another meeting, and he knew, he said, he had many photos left. I've lost my one I've got. So I sent him another one. He was going to send me the one that was made in England. Never sent it. That's my life. See my work. Oh, if I hadn't been working in the railway, they'd never have got the bonus in the life. That's my proud boast. If I'm in a factory, and I'll get in the bonus. I'll get in the bonus. I'll get in the rise. Because I know what the other side's going to do. I know what I've got to do.
Brilliant.
That's my shoulders.